What is up, guys? Petrie Jones here. This topic comes up every other day regarding PC building or gaming, and that topic is AMD versus Nvidia graphics cards. Stay tuned and find out which ones are best. Okay, so I just want to tell you guys right up front that there really is no best. You have to consider what your application is, how much you're willing to spend, and how much you're willing to spend on peripheral components too to make use of your new graphics card. So, number one, application. So if you are a gamer...
So yeah, I'm a gamer. I like video games.
And all you care about is peak performance, you don't care how much money you have to spend, then Nvidia is going to win in this regard, okay? At the higher end, top dollar, upper echelon, Nvidia cards just seem to outperform AMD cards. Now, however, if you're more of a budget-oriented gamer and you're playing, 1080p gaming and so forth, like the computer behind me has an RX 570, and that is because I believe that AMD cards in the budget mid-range market just tend to give a much better value to performance ratio compared to Nvidia cards. So for budget-oriented gaming, 1080p gaming, I give this one to AMD strictly on value to performance ratio. If you are more into content creation and editing, okay, you're using software like, for example, DaVinci or something like that, then I believe overall Nvidia cards are going to be better, okay? They're going to be better because there is better encoding technology built into Nvidia cards. Others have touched on this in many other YouTube videos, and there are articles on this, but Nvidia cards have NVENC, okay? And you can make use of this when you're encoding videos in your video editing software. It's going to make the process that much more efficient. It's going to save you a lot of time. And from everyone that I've talked to in all the videos that I've seen, it is definitely worth it in this realm. So again, in regards to content creation, video editing, Nvidia gets a heads up on this due to the NVENC encoding technology that is intrinsic on those cards. Okay, streaming, I'm going to go ahead and give this to Nvidia as well for the exact same reason, and that is the encoding technology. When you are streaming, you can make use of the NVENC encoder in OBS or in Streamlabs, and this is going to make the process much more efficient, and I think that your quality of streams are going to be better even if you had a similar tier card, but it was an AMD card. Without that encoding technology, it's going to be a bit less efficient, so I give this again to Nvidia. Now, the other factor that you need to take into consideration is how much money you're willing to spend on peripheral components to make the best use of the new graphics card that you just bought. So first and foremost, I made a previous video about this. Please get a higher refresh rate monitor, at least 120 hertz. I have 144 hertz Acer monitor, which I may do a review on in the future. But primarily the number one reason for this is if you have a good graphics card and you're playing games and you're getting frame rates of say 140 frames per second, but your monitor that you're using is an HD TV at 60 hertz, then it's gonna do you no good. You're basically capping your experience at 60 frames per second. So that's number one. Number two, you need to take in consideration that newer monitors nowadays are making use of either NVIDIA's G-Sync technology or AMD's FreeSync technology. And this is important to consider because typically speaking, FreeSync monitors are a bit cheaper and more affordable than their G-Sync counterparts. So if you have an AMD card and you want to get a better monitor and you want to make sure that it has FreeSync, for the same refresh rate, same monitor essentially, it's probably going to be a little bit cheaper for the monitor than if you had an Nvidia card and you wanted it to be G-Sync compatible. Okay, so that's something also to keep in mind. Okay, so just to wrap this whole picture up, if you are a gamer and all you care about is the best of the best performance and you have unlimited money to spend, you want to spend top dollar, then Nvidia wins on this one. If you are more of a budget-oriented gamer and you're doing more 1080p gaming and you want to play most games, but you can't spend tons of money for anything under like say $200 to $250, then I believe AMD beats out Nvidia in this regard. A good example is the RX 570 in this computer behind me and the RX 580s, etc. Now, if you are doing content creation and editing, then across the board, Nvidia wins on this one, and that is primarily due to the NVENC encoding technology that is intrinsic in most Nvidia cards. If you're a streamer, same deal. Due to NVENC, I'm going to give this one to Nvidia too, okay? Lastly, if we're going to look at price of other peripheral components to make the best possible use of your new card, I'm going to give this to AMD, simply because FreeSync monitors overall tend to be slightly cheaper than their G-Sync counterparts with the same specs overall outside of that. So that is something to keep in mind. So I hope that clears up some confusion. If you would like to see a video looking at the exact cards themselves, comparing and contrasting like AMD's top tier card to Nvidia's top tier card, or comparing and contrasting AMD's mid-range to Nvidia's mid-range and so forth, I would be more than happy to do that. I think that that will give you a better general idea with regards to specifications, why one may be better than the other. But generally speaking, this is a question that is asked all of the time, and it's really one that can't be answered super simply because there's just too many factors that are going into play here, and it's a really individual decision, and it's based upon your own individual application and your own budget. So I hope that this video cleared this up and gave you some general consensus onto which cards you should probably put your money towards, depending upon which category you fell into that I described prior. Anyway, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications on new videos. I'm going to be trying to release at least one video per week, but more than likely there will be multiple videos per week in the future. Leave a comment and leave a like. Let me know which card you have and why you have the card you do. Thanks for watching.